It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Chicago Bears and the New Orleans Saints coming up next.
Well, first opened back in 1975, there's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the New Orleans Saints. Brandon Gaudin joined by Charles Davis here at the Superdome. But Charles, these Saints, after a good run from 2017 to 2020, they've kind of been middle of the pack the last couple of years, 7-10 a season ago. What's their recipe for turning things around?
I think continuing the short passing game that they're known for, and see if some of their playmakers can make some short passes into longer plays. And then on defense, continuing to pressure quarterbacks in the pocket. They tend to get after them pretty hard.
And then for the visiting Bears, they want to wipe the slate clean from 2022. Now, working in their favor, we've seen plenty of teams in the NFL make big turnarounds from year to year. What can the Bears do to just get back closer to maybe 7-8 wins, Charles?
Well, they want to coalesce all this young talent that they're accumulating and guys that they've brought in from the outside and start to build a culture, a feeling around this team that they know they can compete week in and week out.
The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And we are underway from the Superdome. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. So here come the Bears to take over on offense behind their third-year quarterback, former Ohio State Buckeye Charles, Justin Fields.
We all knew Fields was an incredible athlete coming out of college, and last season, he unleashed it upon the NFL. Ran for over 1,100 yards and would have broken the quarterback single-season record if he had played the full season. He also threw 17 touchdown passes, and that's the next jump for him. More consistency as a passer.
A man who led the league in yards per carry last year, it's Khalil Herbert. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. That's the former Buckeye Pete Werner getting the sack. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at third down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at third down and long. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And taken at the 46. 43 yards on the punt. 7-yard return, and the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. So here come the Saints to take over for the first time, and here's the new man under center after 9 seasons as a Raider. Derek Carr is the guy.
It's going to take some time to adjust to seeing Carr running out in a new uniform instead of black and silver. It's black and gold. 35,000 yards and over 200 touchdowns with the Raiders. The Saints more than willing to let him air it out all game long to a talented group of pass catchers in the Big Easy.
Throwing on first down is Carr.
Well, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Derek Carr, very precise thrower of the football. What's the game plan for going up against him? Yeah, it used to be take away the short stuff, I know, but he's more than a dink and dunker, right?
And you are right about that. Great analysis of him because he has evolved as a thrower. Now he can push the ball downfield, but still, the number one things you want to take away, short passes, intermediate passes. So sharp, precise, and accurate, you got to set on those routes in order to cause him problems. Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
On 4th down, on is the punter, Colby Wadman. And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. And they were right in that gray area on the edge of long field goal range, maybe too short to punt it. So the defense probably was expecting this was a possibility.
They should have been, and in most cases, what you do on defense is you go to what they call punt safe. In other words, you leave your defense on the field, prepare for them to possibly go for it, and then you just have a little bit different responsibilities. You're not really trying to get a big return. You just want to make sure you get the ball back. But they fell asleep with the switch.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Not the warmest starts throwing the football. He was 1 for 3, now 1 for 4 on the opening drive.
So getting him comfortable is the key. And for him, it might be different than what we think is comfortable. We're probably thinking swing passes, easy checkdowns. Some guys, they're better off throwing it downfield. That's what really loosens them up.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
On first down, Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
On first and 10, it's Herbert. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 9. Out of the gun, Fields. Incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Fields.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. that's taken on the 25. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive.
A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Kamara up the middle.
And a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now a play fake. Carr. Touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas. 23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Saints get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive, they've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Velus Jones now from his end zone.
And he returns this to the 22. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 22.
Now it's Fields. That's complete to Mooney.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 11 yards for number 11.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Brian Brzee fought in and got him down.
Great play by Brzee, and someone you were very happy to see get picked in the first day of the draft with all he's been through. Overcame so much during his career at Clemson. Without a doubt, his best ball is still ahead of him.
3rd and long. It's Fields. That is caught by Herbert. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The New Orleans offense set to take over.
They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and a yard.
They run it again with Kamara. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Carr.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw here.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 34. Now Carr again.
There's Chris Olave.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
From the 25, here's 2nd down and 1.
Here's Carr. It's caught. Smith. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Here's Carr to throw.
Goes right back to Smith again.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Carr to throw again.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Kamara, fight, and he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints.
Alvin Kamara,
a 3-yard touchdown run.
and the Saints lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. A 10-play drive that time. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down.
Back to throw, Fields. That's complete to his running back, Herbert.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now a 2nd and 2. In motion left, Claypool. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And Claypool going to have a Bears first down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Fields now to throw. Looking deep here for Mooney. And that's going to be incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
2nd and 10. Here's Fields. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Throwing again is Fields.
And he's taken here by the Saints.
Pete Werner.
That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And they'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
Carr going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10.
At their own 18.
He'll start with a give to Kamara.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
So a player shaken up. We'll get a stoppage here. And that's Alvin Kamara, the one who's going to receive some attention. Hopefully he's okay. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Second and a couple. 1,000-yard rusher for the first time last year. This is Jamal Williams.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
A yard, all they need, but it's 3rd down.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw there taken in by Smith.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
Great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
54 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
A quality run by Kamara, who's the same dependable and often spectacular back the Saints drafted in 2017. Another season of nearly 900 yards rushing and 500 receiving yards.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Oh, and Nelson spaced that one. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Saints take a 3-touchdown lead.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Wolf on now for the extra point.
And it is now 21-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Now Fields.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
More than 1 defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Oh, good footwork on the spin. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And that will come the offense as they take over. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd down, here's Carr.
This one taken in by Olave.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Carr. And this one complete to Smith. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On play action, it's Carr.
He'll get it inside the 20.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 17-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
114 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Facing a 2nd and 3, ball on the 10. Olave motioning to the left. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Try to pound it in, Kamara. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Again, Kamara. And not a whole lot there as he'll get him down at about the 2. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it, and I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
They run. It's Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints are able to widen their lead here in this first half. So 4th and goal, their head coach gave that offensive line one more chance to punch it in, and this time they were successful.
They certainly paid off the coach's confidence, didn't they? And how about the fact that they stayed with the ground game? Because a lot of times in that situation, partner, we see teams try and roll the quarterback out, give him a little run-pass option, and treat it like a 2-point conversion play. In this case, they went with a little bit more power and got it done.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd down, a run with Herbert. They find some open field here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Herbert making a nice play there, coming off a 700-yard campaign, despite making just one start in 2022. Played a big part in the Bears becoming the 5th team.
He'll take this all the way down to the 35.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Fields on first down. He's got the connection to Moore.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll set up the screen to Herbert.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
On second down, here's Fields. Finding Moore on the out route for the completion.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up first and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown.
Chase Claypool
from 3 yards out.
And the Bears are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 28-7 ball game.
Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. On the return, here's Rashid Shaheed. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Hey, we're going to do what we do.
They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice, and that often runs you into a penalty.
So the hold on special teams backs him up all the way inside the 15 to start. On first down, Carr. They'll set up the screen down to Kamara. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Let's play. Let's play now, baby. Let's play.
Second down and 4.
Now Carr. This is complete to Michael Thomas. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
I got you, baby.
Carr now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. This time they stay on the ground. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Fields. It's left in the first half.
Let's go, baby. Turn it up. Let's play now, baby. Let's play.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
All right, Brandon, back to you two in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports Halftime Report. We just watched a solid first half from the veteran running back, Alvin Kamara. He's up over 100 yards rushing for the game already, and he scored 3 times as well, as they went to him early and often, and with good reason.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Have the lead and set to receive the kick. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 24. On play action, they'll throw. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And that's one of the few things that has not gone right for this offense so far. They've had their share of big plays. That was nearly another. But somehow, he just couldn't squeeze it.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 125 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On play action, now Carr. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Now a 2nd and 10.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Carr to throw again.
That is caught.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 41-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Kamara try the right side. Shifts by him. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Here's Carr to throw.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Carr gonna throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Saints are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Jet sweep. Carr bats it forward. Able to put, and he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown.
Chris Olave
from 6 yards away.
And the Saints take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's often like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Escapes the defender.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They'll go again with Herbert. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Herbert powering up the middle.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. To throw is Fields. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
Well, the focus goes back to Chris Olave, the Saints offense.
Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that, because it has been pretty good. But there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done.
151 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun now for Carr. Out to the left. That's where the tight end Moreau is. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
So from the 37, here's 2nd down and 3.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And his throw here's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. To throw is Carr.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Fields now to throw.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Now it's Fields.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Wreaking havoc was Nathan Shepard, the D tackle.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 42. A 3rd down conversion with a strong gain of 14.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Let's go now, let's go.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Now Fields.
Steps away to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Here's a give to Herbert. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
They'll run this with Homer. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Travis Homer, 15 yards. And the Bears are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Santos with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it was finished by the touchdown run from the 15.
Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here.
Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
To throw, it's Carr.
Throwing out right here, caught by Olave.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
It's game time. Let's go, man.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara.
And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Jones on the return. Breaks a tackle. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Fields. He's got the connection to Moore.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 2nd down, here's Fields. Fields hit and the ball is loose. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Fields on first down. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 21. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
Play action. It's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now a 2nd and 6. Going on the ground with Homer. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, that's exactly what you're looking for.
This offense so far on third down, just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 10. Tunyon's got it on the out route. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Khalil Herbert, 14 yards. And the Bears have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14.
After the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. On the return, here's Shaheed. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. What was once a really comfortable lead is not so comfortable anymore. Down to a 2-score game after they've seen a pair of touchdowns go against them on those last 2 drives.
Yeah, they've got to find a way to get off of autopilot right now, okay? Get back to what was working for them earlier. Understand that they still have a 2-score lead, so it's not dire, but at the same time, okay, guys, let's mash the gas. Let's get going again. Let's have some fun.
They begin on the ground with Kamara.
He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. Down at the 25. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Again, it's Kamara. Dances by him.
Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line.
A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Saints have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
So that drive there, CD, a good response, and that might be the one that gets them to the finish line, a comfortable lead.
Yeah, and that's all about not letting the team back into a game because they just gave up a touchdown. It was back to a 2-score game, and anything can happen in that situation. But instead, they came through with a really terrific drive right there that ended in 6. So you like to slam the door on teams. In this case, they're trying to lock it as well.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And running with power here. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Chicago offense set to get started. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
On first down, it's Fields. So there's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Brian Brzee able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
4th down, Fields has to have this one.
And this is caught. He hits more. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
On first down, Fields.
Taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
That's multiple times now he's tagged them with a big gain with his legs. Really showing off some nice awareness and the ability to correctly realize when he's got a chance to tuck it and go himself.
Now a first down throw, Fields.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Back to the air, Fields on second down. That's complete to Mooney.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Fields to Mooney for the Chicago first.
Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
A handoff for Herbert.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And now they're in the hurry-up.
Back to throw, Fields.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline is still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Carr going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10.
At their own 26.
He'll start with a give to Kamara. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
They run it again with Kamara. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 there and a New Orleans 1st down.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And Kamara with a carry there on 1st down as he works his way forward for a pickup of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.